What do you think makes a good stealth video? No mistakes, nothing on the screen that doesn't need to be on the screen. And you know, for different people, that's gonna be different things. So like, I like having detection meters on screen because it shows people how close I am to the fire, so to speak. When viewers can see the detection meters, like they can see, they have the same awareness that I do. Whereas like somebody that hasn't played the mission, or that, you know, hasn't played it in a while, or someone who doesn't know where all the guards are, they don't know how clutch I'm being and like how I'm avoiding all these people if they can't actually see who's looking at me from which direction and things like that. So maybe it's bullshit, but you know, I like them for that reason, so I like to keep them on. But everything else, like, just delete that. That needs to be gone. Like, no health bars, no tool, no map, no compass, no, just delete all that, remove all that. You don't need it. It just distracts from the flow of what's going on. So that's one. Next, fluidity and usually speed. So here's the thing, it's a spectrum, right? So on this end, you have fast, raw gameplay, right? And on the other hand, you have slow, but role-playing, right? Fuck, god damn it. Slow, role-playing, right? Paint gameplay at 1 AM, fuck yeah. Your favorite YouTuber will never. Leo K for life. Okay, so yeah. What makes a good stealth video? So you have a spectrum. On one end is you play very quickly, and it's raw gameplay. So this is like how I started out, and you know what most of the time Stealth Reaper means. And you also, you know, you would see this in lots of my first videos, you would see this in Trevi's videos, you would see this in Hasnotalent's videos. So basically you play really quickly. You just don't waste time. Because the less time you waste and the more quickly you play, like, the more riveting and exciting it is. Because playing stealth quickly is also more dangerous and more risky, which means that you've really mastered the mission. So it looks cool. So that's one way. And then on the other end of the spectrum is you play slowly, but you roleplay. So you do things like, you know, you zoom the camera in on like immersive moments, or like you walk slowly through a crowd, and then like, or, you know, you taunt a guard, or like you berserk blade a guard, and then like you slowly walk up to him during the stun and like kill him that way, right? Like, those are the things you can do. So the thing is, if you do only this, like fast and raw gameplay, you can carry a stealth video just by doing that, and it's really good, it's really entertaining. If you do a bunch of slow role-playing through an entire thing, you can do that, but a lot of people are going to get bored unless the stuff you're doing happens to be very interesting. So a video like that would be this one, right? Like this shit right here. This is an extremely slow video. This is 15 minutes. If I did this normally, this could have been like 4 minutes long. So it's just very immersive, very slow, just like walking. It's all about atmosphere. Like, this isn't even a skill video, really. It already has one dislike because somebody figured out that it's actually bullshit. I like this person. So yeah, it's very, you know, it's very slow, it's very immersive, lots of role-playing, etc. Kind of drinking in the atmosphere. Unity is a good game for this because it's got like really shiny graphics, so you can distract people from how boring the actual gameplay is. But for the most part, yeah, you want to do fast, raw gameplay. So, you know, you would get shit like this guy, this person. All right. So if you look at the way this shit works, look at how fast this is for the most part. And, you know, we're going to break this down. There are some moments of role-playing as well. Right? Title explaining stealth videos. Yeah. So yeah, you know, you start out, see, very fluid. And at this point, what you may not realize is the game forces the camera this way, so he slows down into slow role-playing. This is not his choice, he has to do this. You know, you murder these people. You go over here. You see, it's very quick. Bam. And then immediately turn left. And then you see it's constant flow, right? Boom. Phantom Blade, assassinate. And then, like, you continue moving through the smoke very quickly. Lots of flow. And then just, like, bam, assassinate, right? Like, you're chaining very fast actions. And then at this point, you know, you kind of go up the stairs. You see, he continues to move very quickly. Some players, they would just walk at this point, but not Trevi, because, like, this is his style. Like, you want to rush through and just murder as many people, like, stack up as many assassinations as quickly as possible. Like, it looks really, like, engaging. And then, like, right here, look at this sequence. Poison bomb, into smoke for the cover, into assassinate. There's no downtime. It's just constant action. So, bam. Come over here, stab this guy, into the gunshot. The glitchiest gunshot in video game history. And yeah, we can check out the blooper video after if you want. But yeah, so at this point, see, we're gonna pause right here. So see what I'm saying? He doesn't have to do this. This has literally no gameplay benefit. But this isn't just about a game. This is a video on the YouTubes for entertaining the people. So at this point, he switches into slow role-playing, literally completely stopping. There's no action here, but he lets the conversation play out because, you know, it's part of the mission. It's part of the immersion. Like, stealth, like, you can get a lot of mileage out of just murdering a lot of guards really quickly, but having these little moments gives it character. It gives it personality. So he's like, ah, oui, c'est bon, je ne parle français, so I don't know what the fuck they're actually saying, but they're basically saying shit like, oh, thank you, and he's like, you can thank me by going up the stairs and being a distraction so I can social stealth the guys later, basically. So yeah, at this point, you kind of come in here, and what we're gonna see here is he could kill these guys really fast, but he does something cheeky. So this is another thing. In the middle of these, you get a third category. Where the fuck is my text tool? Cheeky moments. Yeah, this shit. So, I love Trev's videos. Yes, they're really good. One of the best. So, cheeky moments. He could have just murdered this guy, right? Like, you do it because you need the corner kill. Right, so that's one thing. That's one thing. He needs the corner kill for the full sync because he's going for full sync. But let's say he wasn't going for full sync, which I actually didn't realize. This cheeky moment, like, it's more interesting to get the corner kill because this particular guard is already moving backwards. So it's like, bam, you know? Like, it's funny. It's like, oh, he just abused the guard's pathing to get a cheeky kill. So that's a good thing to do. And then, like, same thing here. Like, he just gets more cover kills because he's right there, so why not? And you see constant movement, constant action. Just run forward, bam, bam. Kills these two guys, just constantly moving. Stream, Unity, cheeky moments, yes. Okay, so over here, this is another thing. This shit is sort of like I consider this kind of like a cheeky moment because it's like unique actions that you can't really do in many places. So missions will have particular moments that you can only do in this specific mission, in this specific place. So here, he very quickly murders these two guys without being detected, and you have to do these high profile. Because these guards here empower that. Like the blue guards empower that. And then more cheeky moments is doing shit that the audience doesn't expect or didn't know was possible. So this shit blew my mind. And I'm Leo K. So if you haven't seen this, get ready. Look at this. Gunshot, stab. Fucking ridiculous. Yo, when I saw this shit, I was like, the gunshot doesn't break stealth immediately? What? Right? So that was awesome. Do it again. Yeah, like, look at that shit. Here, we're gonna get the instant replay. We're gonna go over here and be like, no. And be like, speed. No, fucking hell. 0.75. Look at this shit. Just like... Treviso, are you pure human? Certified 17% Isu DNA. So yeah, there's that shit. That's pretty fucking awesome. Because damn, I'm jealous. So anyway, we're gonna keep going. So at this point, he picks the door, and yeah, just opens that. Keeps going, you know. So one of the reasons he doesn't just like run around super fast is because A, it looks cool, and B, running around in tight enclosed spaces tends to fuck your camera really bad, and that just doesn't look good. So, okay, another part of doing interesting stealth videos is taking on difficult locations. So this is a difficult location for 2 reasons. 1, there's a lot of guards here. 2, it covers a lot of space geographically. So you have to move through a very wide space with many guards in it. And what that means is it increases your chances of being detected. So in order to not be detected, you either have to play more skillfully or play in more cheeky ways. So, you know, he takes out this dude, goes over this way. He's gonna take out this dude and get a last known position hologram because the dude on the left turns around at like the last possible moment, basically. And this is interesting. This creates a cheeky moment of its own because normally you would just, you know, ledge assassinate this dude, but here it's kind of like, you know, you don't often see players luring guards from a ledge because it's actually really hard to do, right? Bam. So yeah, he fucking murders that guy. Really smooth. And variety is pretty good. So he could have gone like over the top and like used lots of smoke or whatever, but moving through here kind of like builds tension a little bit. And then he takes out these 2 guys. Doing mission-specific stuff is pretty good overall. But as Trevi himself mentioned to me, most stealth people on YouTube kill these guys by doing that because it's just really fast. So at this point, he's gonna smoke, jump over, air the first guy, kill the second guy, and from here, it's really, like, this moment was actually super intense because that brute is actually staring at him the entire time, and I was like, oh my god, dude. And finally, having a strong finish just feels really nice. So air assassinating the final guy, especially in a game like Unity, like, it just feels cool because of the slow down into the memory corridor. Like, and bam. So now, ending. Endings are pretty critical. An ending is the part where I start to freak out the most when I'm making a stealth video. Because if you fuck up during the ending and you do something that looks weird, you gotta scrap everything. So because the ending is the easiest part, you tend to get most complacent. So for the ending, you don't actually have to do anything fancy. You don't really have to do anything special. All you have to do is complete the mission without fucking up. Because if you do something that looks kind of like really crazy, or if you take damage or get somehow detected by some random guard spawning in for a crowd event or something crazy like that, you gotta just delete the whole thing. And because you fucked up on the easy part, you gotta do all the hard parts. And nobody wants to do that. So yeah. With this particular ending is really nice because it's kind of like a cool parkour down sequence. So it's just bam, 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 and then you've kind of like faded into the crowd. And plus this end screen is actually hella sick, and because I actually didn't think about this before, but this card is right next to this overlay, and it's just like, ah! Alright, so that's that. Alright? And then if we were to look at something else, like, I don't know, this person. What's it called? What do I want to look at? I don't even know which one I should show. But basically, this one's not so bad. This is an example of just like literally, it's on this side of the spectrum. It's just raw speed, like raw speed. There's nothing. There is no slow role playing. Because he's going so quickly. By nature of that, you can't get as many cheeky moments. Conversely, if you look at someone like StealthGamerBR, like 90% of the shit he does is cheeky moments. If you look at someone like Clockner, he would fall really into fast and raw gameplay. StealthGamerBR will have a lot of cheeky moments, and he will also have a bunch of slow role playing in parts. So like moments where in a Dishonored video he'll like take the dude's head and like put it in a pot or some shit, right? Or you know shit like that. So this one is raw speed.
How long would as long as it takes. We'll be picking up balusters and spin.
There is some creativity, but for the most part, it's just about playing extremely fast. Like, look at this ridiculousness. It's just so much flow. There's very little downtime. It's lots of action. Even when a cheeky moment is being set up, or like a moment of creativity, it's being done very fast. That's actually surprisingly difficult to do. Wrecked. Alright, so... God, I love that kill. Dishonored and Far Cry and Metal Gear Solid 5 and games like that, games that are very quote-unquote systemic, I have a lot of emergent gameplay, they're very good for stealth videos because with them, you can create a lot of cheeky moments. Like, Dishonored has a lot of room for creativity, so you can do a lot of ridiculous shit, like possess a dude, put him inside his own wall of light, shoot the wall of light with a projectile which disrupts it and causes it to trigger. So even though that guard is coded as an ally to that wall of light, because Hasno has shot a bolt into it, it fries him, even though normally it wouldn't do that. So these kind of games where there's so many systems and there's so many interlocking mechanics, these let you do this kind of stuff. Whereas for the most part, Assassin's Creed kind of doesn't. So on the one hand, trying to go for cheeky moments in Assassin's Creed is kind of a lost cause because there's not going to be so many that you can get. But on the other hand, it means that when you can get one, you should go for it because they're so rare. MGS4, C4 a car, which you Fulton, and then you blow up a helicopter with it. Systemic. Yes, exactly. Another thing that makes a stealth video enjoyable to watch is fluidity, and just the visual smoothness of the experience. So the #1 person for visual smoothness of an experience, and this is because the dude is just fucking crazy and he spends months working on a single vid, is Clockner. Clockner is the absolute, like, this guy has the smoothest stealth vids in the business, basically. Like, I do not think anyone has smoother vids than this guy does in terms of camera work and mouse work, and just, like, it's candy for your eyes, pretty much. Do the Far Cry 4 Sandman one, the one at the bottom. Alright. Like, look at that smooth mouse movement. It's extremely fluid. It's not jarring to your eyes. It's not, and this is really hard to do. So Clockner, he mods his mice actually. May I suggest that after you stop the stream, you section off this part and make it its own video, stealth video masterclass? Yeah, I might do that. I agree with Pi. This would be great as its own video. Yeah, I might do that. I'll probably have to end up editing the final stream anyway, just because
keep your head down.
It wouldn't be, it would be kind of... It doesn't really have a place in the marathon. My favorite video by this group. And wonder if I should reinstall Unity to make stealth vids. I mean, I would always recommend it. Or I would always recommend the act of making stealth vids. Maybe not making Unity stealth vids, but, you know, the act of making stealth vids is pretty good. So yeah, Clockner, he's extremely smooth. So, like, look at that fluidity. Not jerky, not jittery. Even when he's turning 180 degrees backwards. Clockner must have taken tranquilizers to keep his hand very, very steady. Clockner just plays a lot, and it can take him months to put out a single vid, and he mods his own computer mice. He uses only like the best mice. I think he's actually a computer builder first and a gamer second, so his PC is like fucking ridiculous. So he can play at absurdly high frame rates, which helps more than you can imagine. Maybe.
I just wanted to say, congratulations on getting your own squad.
Is complete.
Extremely fast chained kills. Imagine someone coming in at this moment wondering why we're watching Clockner vids. This was so hot. Like, what the fuck? If you guys don't know who Masked Felon is, by the way, if you guys like that moment, you should really check out this one.
This is one odd bird. Consorts with crazy, does rituals and the like.
So, this is just kind of standard fare for now. But there's a moment coming up where he basically turns into John Wick, and I'll point it out.
Gonna feed you. You got me. Come on, let's get somebody, give me a hand. There. I'll stick you.
Knocks him down, lets the rats eat his body.
Someone help me!
Yeah, no, it was this that I was thinking of. That, and then, you know, the rest of them come out and we just bam, bam, bam. That kind of shit. The transition's good. Yeah, another really great transition while I'm on a roll is, I'm sorry I'm like jumping between all these people, but this is just turning into some of my favorite moments. Where is Killzone Shadowfall? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. It's gonna be in here. Woohoo! God, I love that shit. Anyway. Yeah. Just because you guys said that transition, right? But yeah. Now, I do need to show this guy because he's like Assassin's Creed in particular. So, MaceoniK doesn't really upload very much because he doesn't like the new games, and that's fine. That makes sense. This is a pretty decent one, I think. One of the recent ones. Borgia Towers are the best, yeah. Lots of variety in those. Really showcased Brotherhood at its prime. So MaceoniK does a lot of slow role-playing as well. He does a lot of things that tell a story via his movements and actions. He's not so much about murdering a bunch of people extremely quickly. He likes to be like a shadow in enemy lines.
Not a
Get your
peep from
grubby
you.
mints off me! Oh! You'll pay for that!
So he uses this dead body to lure people over here. So tossing someone off is already a creative kill. And then he subverts audience expectations.
Suppose you gotta die of something.
And then he uses this after the guard says, I suppose you gotta die of something. And then he gets crushed, which adds like comedic value. I fucking laughed my ass off the first time I saw that.
Oh, goodness! Told you to keep a low profile.
Extremely smooth cover on this tree. When you can make a bad game look good, you've succeeded. I'll take that as a compliment as well. Leo is about to show some doom, yep. That cover, yeah, that smooth cover on that tree after the double kill. So good.
Someone slip through.
Receive a reward of £30 for their efforts. He thanks you for your services and encourages you not to spend your entire allotment at the Fox and Bottle.
You can see, like, very atmospheric.
Sent a runner bearing good news. For our excellent performance.
Oh, this is not me playing. I'm just showing other people's vids right here. But yeah, the way Mace plays is extremely atmospheric, extremely immersive. Like, he tries to make it super cinematic. As Victor says, it's like a movie.
This merits further investigation.
And yeah, this is on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Exact opposite end of the spectrum of fast draw gameplay, like lots of slow role playing. And there's not even that many cheeky moments because like he's not trying to be funny, he's just trying to look cool. Is his whole thing. And I think he does that really well.
I know you're there. There's no point hiding like a coward. How did he get through?
Where do you think you're going?
And that's that pretty much. It's okay, Jose. I understand. I'm very touched that you assumed it was me, though. See, me, I'm more of a Clockner style dude. Gonna have to give more of his content a look. I'm really vibing with this, lol. Yeah, please, like, watch MaceoniK, he's great. I'll probably chunk this off and upload it as a separate video, and I will have links in the description to all of the YouTubers that we looked at. So we're gonna do Clockner, Kadingir Sanctum. This shit is fucking ridiculous. This is not a stealth video, but it's important to look at. Okay, so what I want you to pay attention to here is just raw rhythm. Pay attention to the rhythm, the constant, you know, constant action.
He is here.
We'll set up a portal device at the tube.
Later, you will notice that he starts switching weapons mid-combo, and it's extremely difficult to do, and it looks fucking amazing. Notice also that his actions are to the beat of the background music. Yeah, the flow in this one is incredible. Like, I'm basically speechless because it speaks for itself. There's not much I can say about it. It's just ridiculous. The other thing I can have you pay attention to is his mouse movement, even during just normal running around, when he's not fighting anything. It's very... he takes very graceful, elegant motions. Do you stream on Twitch, Leo? I do not. I mostly just stream on YouTube. Okay. So even Clockner will sometimes have like little cheeky moments and like a bit of slow role playing, but in a video like this it's still fucking fast. That's slowly like changing his shotgun spec while the guy slowly staggers off of his feet and then bam 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 to finish him off. Cinematic as fuck. So even though Doom is a raw combat game, a lot of the principles you see on display here can apply to stealth games. And in fact, they can apply to stealth games even better because in stealth games, your enemies are largely predictable. Because if you memorize a mission, you know where people will walk and where they'll stop, where they'll turn around. You can pretty much have everything in your mind. In a game like this, enemies can move somewhat unpredictably. So you have to adapt to them and like hit them rapidly as they change their movement from what you expect. In a stealth game, you can kind of account for everything, so it sort of lets you be a little bit more prepared. But the smoothness of camera flow, the smoothness of movement, those are the big ones. Those will apply to any game in which there's conflict, basically. Well done, bud. Dude, your voice is attractive, no homo. No, no homo, don't worry about it. Voices are genderless. They're amorphous constructs swimming in the void of information. I thought the music was overlaid, but it's the game's actual soundtrack. Yeah. The sexy narrator voice. In a world of sick video games, one rogue tries to teach people what makes things badass. So another ridiculous thing Clockner is known for is, look at this video. This is 15 minutes long. We're probably not even going to watch the full thing unless people want to. I might just leave it running in the background. But the idea is, okay, I think by sexy narrator voice they meant the voice you were doing before that. So, doing really long, uninterrupted takes of games like this is extremely difficult. It is really, really hard. This is like a speedrun. Yeah, this is like a speedrun. but doing really long uninterrupted takes like this is really difficult, especially putting in optional challenge missions in it, which he doesn't have to do. He doesn't need to be doing those rune trials, but he's doing them anyway. Right? I kinda wonder now which of my videos people consider the best one. Well, you can look at which one is your most viewed one, which one is your most liked one, and you can also look at which video has the highest audience retention. So it's the one that the least people got bored of halfway through. YouTube has analytics that can show you those things. Also, this is jokes. Classic Doom levels in Doom 2016. Whose team y'all on? DC or Marvel? I like DC more in general, but Marvel has better movies. I really like them both though. Like I really like both of them a lot. By the way, Spider-Man PS4 is the best non-comic iteration of Peter Parker since Spider-Man 2. I've been hearing that a lot lately. So not only did he fucking play this super well, he just straight up finished everything. This guy's a maniac. Just like how Trevi, at the end of his September Massacres video, you know, the scorecard pops up and then it's like, oh, you full synced it. So, yeah. To recap, interesting stealth play usually falls on a spectrum between fast and raw gameplay or slow and immersive role-playing. Pick somewhere on this spectrum or one of the extremes and get really good at that. Creative and cheeky moments can add amusement value. Playing at high frame rates is recommended because it helps you record well, and outputting at 60 FPS looks good on YouTube. Good hardware, like a good mouse, a functioning controller, or a strong computer really helps. Become skilled at the particular game's movement system and movement mechanics to make it look smooth and fluid. Value having really good mousing or right sticking for looking around and having good camera flow, and reduce jitter and jerkiness in your gameplay. Make it look smoother, unless you're playing so quickly that smoothness isn't a concern. And finally, edit creatively. And finally, watch other skillers, see what they do, see what about them you really enjoy, and try to emulate or copy that in your own style. And that's about it. Thanks for checking this out, and hope you stay sneaky.